Hi, today I'm going to bring you a few more coins. Again, I'll start off with a few German large silver ones, sort of Thaler sort of size, 28 grams, that sort of weight. This one is of George V, King of Hanover. He was the last King of Hanover. He took over in the 1850s, and then at the 1866, after the Franco-Prussian War, Hanover was taken over by Prussia, and so he was the last king of Hanover. It looks very similar to Albert, with that sort of very long sideburns that go down to the chin and a moustache. The face looks very similar, but they were of the same family. He was a grandson of George III, because his father took over Hanover, and he was a son of George III, because Queen Victoria couldn't take it because she was a woman, and so it had to go to a male heir, the nearest male heir, which was this one here. So it wasn't, Victoria couldn't take it over, so she lost Hanover. And this is why we've still got the British coat of arms. Look, we've got the Irish harp, the three lions, the Scottish one, and then you've got the Hanoverian, I think this is in the middle. And so you've still got the British arms on these, even though it is not one of the parts of the British Empire, or even so it's only a dynastic arms, really. There's no formal link to Britain anymore. But it's interesting to see the British coat of arms on that coin. Bavaria, 1851, again, it's one of these, hadn't been absorbed. It was going to be absorbed in the Empire in 1871 after the Franco-Prussian War. And then it would produce its own large silver coins up until the First World War. And it was still a king there. I think there's about 4 or 5 kings still left after the empire formed. But they weren't part of the German Empire, so all the foreign policy was all done by the Kaiser of Germany. Zwei 2 Gulden, so 2 Gulden, this one. But it's very similar sort of size and weight to the Thaler. It's pretty exchangeable, I suppose. Here we got Maximil II, King of Bavaria, Maximilian. Again, they've got this same sort of long sideburns and moustache. Seems to be the thing of the day. And very combed forward hair, so he might have been losing it a bit, I don't know. A bit earlier, 1777, it's Saxony. Now, Saxony did produce a lot of silver coins because they did have a silver mine, I believe. Here we've got Frederick Augustus, Duke of Saxony and Elector. So only certain states within Germany, this was still part of the Holy Roman Empire. They only had a number of the states were actually electors, and they could elect the emperor. Though after a certain period, it became almost obligatory to elect a Habsburg. So he's an elector. Again, on this side, you've got the coat of arms of Saxony. So 2/3. I think it might be 2/3 of a Thaler, maybe. Then we've got some more ordinary coins. So I keep on saying stamps. I shouldn't, because I'm doing some videos on stamps as well, so I'm getting confused in my old age. Sweden, 1 ore, 1873. There's the trouble with these dark coins, these dark copper coins. They do sometimes difficult to see it very well. Sometimes it's better. You might see it better than I can. And then you've got the king of, is this an Oscar? I want to say Oscar the second, is it? Around this period, I think Norway and Sweden were joined, were they? But there you got a nice portrait. Much more full beards in those days. They've got rid of the part beard and moustache and they've gone full beard. South Africa, 1958. They've got a nice big, I've forgotten what that flower is called now, but they do sell them in shops, those big ones, this big head. I think they're red. South Africa, the Afrikaans name for South Africa. 3 pence, little bit of silver. There you got the young head of the late Queen Elizabeth II. Elizabeth II Regina. This one, see if you can see it. I'm not sure you can see this all right. Thailand, 1874. 1 baht, or 1/64 of a baht, 1 at. So there's a bit of a design there with some Thai writing. And on here, I think it's the other way around. You got some Thai writing and looks like a stupa or something like that on that side. Bit easier to see. This one, Tunisia, 1941. So North Africa, part of the Second World War at that period. 2 francs. It was a French colony. Bon pour, good for, 2 francs, I think that says. Here we've got the Philippines, 1944. It was under the American control, 20 cents. So it had been taken over by the Japanese, and then the Americans took it back, 20 centavos, and then there was a fight to get the Americans out. A number of Filipinos died in that war. United States of America, with the emblem there. Panama, got 2 of these, I think. I can find the other one. Yes, I've got it there. Panama, 5 cents, 1904. Republica de Panama. Made most of its money on the canal, the famous canal of the Panama, which is supposed to be silting up or drying out or something up. So they're trying to find new ways to go through the Central America. And they've got, I think it's that way up. The emblem of Panama. It tells you the amount of silver that's included in it. Now I've got another one, which is very small. It's sort of half that size, 1907, so it's somewhat similar time. Same sort of head. It's that Conquistador. And this one, it just says medio centavos. So it's half a centimetre, half a cent. They've got a number of ones from the Netherlands. 1864. I'll try to get them in some sort of order. So this is the oldest one, 5 cents, 1862. little tiny bit of silver. There we got the king, somebody the third. I want to say William because they nearly all were Williams in those days. There's a nice face there with the old obligatory big beard. Right, 1892 I can go. 10 cents. We got Queen, I think it's Wilhelmina. Queen of the Netherlands. We should not say Holland, we should say Netherlands. The next one is 1906, 25 cents. Here we got, I think it's the same Queen, Queen Wilhelmina when she was a bit older. She was quite young when she took over the throne. There's a bit more mature. We've got 1930, Netherlands, half a guilder. Nice little piece of silver. I think that's her again. Wilhelmina Königin. When she was a bit older still. 1936, just before the Second World War, 5 cents. This one doesn't have a portrait of the Queen, it just has a flower or something like that on it. I think she was only on the higher values. Now we've got Mauritius. I think it's in the Indian Ocean somewhere. 1889, quite an early coin. 20 cents, quite nice. Mauritius. Looks very similar to the ones you might have seen on an earlier video of Malaya and Straits Settlements. They have their sort of ring and the 20. It looks very similar sort of style. And as this one we got Queen Victoria. Looking very young, and even at that time she was getting quite old. It wasn't until quite late that they put in the older head. So it always made her look very younger than she actually was, I think. Norway, 1929. 50 ore. A little hole through it. Some of these Scandinavian countries did. Denmark did. Did Sweden? I'm not sure, but I know Norway and Denmark certainly. And I believe even Iceland had some with little holes in the middle. The reason for it, I don't know. Because they wouldn't have had to chain them together for, like in China, where they had holes in their coins so they could put them through a string and then tie the string to their belt. I wouldn't have thought they'd need them for that, but for some reason they thought it was a good idea to stick a hole through them. Well, I hope that was of interest to you. Please look at my other videos. I produce videos on history and stamps and anything, so there's sure to be something that you could look at. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, comment, you know all the routine, because it does help my little channel keep it further along. And I hope you found this of some interest, and I'll be seeing you very soon on some stamps and other stuff I can pull out the cupboard. Okay, see you again soon. Bye.